You know, when you sit down to watch Bong Joon-ho's masterpiece, Memories of Murder, you probably think you're in for a grim thriller. But that's not how it starts at all. It actually kicks off as this dark comedy, right? Just a story about these bumbling, totally incompetent cops. But that's the trick. That's just the setup for what becomes one of the most haunting descents into obsession you'll ever see on film. So this is the guy we meet first, Detective Park. And this quote, it tells you everything you need to know. He's this rural cop who doesn't really operate on, evidence. Nah. He relies on his self-proclaimed shaman's eyes, this supposed ability to just read faces. It's so arrogant, and it's a completely flawed method that basically sets the stage for the absolute catastrophe of an investigation that's about to unfold.
Okay, so Section 1, a comedy of errors. And seriously, for the first chunk of this movie, that's exactly what it is. It's almost slapstick. You've got these detectives just stumbling through crime scenes, contaminating every piece of evidence, torturing the wrong guys. It's surprisingly funny, which is wild, right? But what it's really showing us is a system that is just completely, utterly unequipped for the horror that's about to come.
But yeah, the laughter, it absolutely does not last. And this is where the movie pulls its most brutal trick on you. That humor, it's not just there to make you laugh. It's there so it can be completely shattered. There's a chilling turn right around the corner, and believe me, it is going to change everything. All right, Section 2, the survivor story. This is the moment. This is the pivot point where the entire DNA of the film just shifts. It all comes from the testimony of a survivor. Up until now, the horror has been kinda abstract, but now it gets a voice. And that voice is absolutely terrifying. And her story is just harrowing. I mean, she talks about how she deliberately didn't look at his face because she knew if she did, he'd kill her. And then she gives us one detail, his hands. She says they were soft, woman-like hands. Wow. It's so specific, so incredibly chilling, that in that one moment, every last ounce of humor from the investigation is just gone. Her trauma literally becomes our trauma. And just like that, the investigation enters a living nightmare. It's not a comedy of errors anymore, not even close. This is a descent into a full-on waking nightmare. The reality of the monster they're hunting, it finally comes crashing down on the detectives, and on us, the audience.
So how does this nightmare really take hold? It all solidifies on one single rain-soaked night. It's raining, again. The killer's favorite song, Sad Letter, is playing on the radio. And while that's happening, what are the detectives doing? They're literally fighting each other in the mud over a suspect who isn't even the right guy. And while they're distracted, the real killer strikes again. The next morning, a 28-year-old woman is found murdered. It's just horrific. But in all that despair, they find something. A postcard sent to the radio station requesting that exact song. And suddenly, they have their first real lead. Okay, Section 3 is the detective switch. And this is where, for me, things get really interesting. As the stakes get higher and higher, Bong Joon-ho pulls off this brilliant narrative trick. He has our two lead detectives completely reverse their core beliefs. And check this out. It maps their breakdown perfectly. On one side, you have Detective Park, the rural instinct guy. At first, he's all about his shaman's eyes. But now, he's desperately searching for cold, hard evidence. Then you've got Detective Sell, the city logic guy. He comes in believing documents never lie. But by the end, he's the one embracing brutality to force a confession. It's more than just two guys losing their way. It's a perfect picture of how a failing system pushes people past their breaking point. Park, the man of instinct, realizes his eyes failed him, and Sell, the logical one, just unravels. The system's failure drives him to the very thing he hated. They basically become each other. Next up, Section 4, the price of obsession. And that's exactly what it is. This hunt doesn't just change them. It absolutely consumes them. It takes this massive physical and psychological toll, and not just on our main detectives, but on everyone caught up in this case. They literally start losing pieces of themselves. And the tragedy just keeps cascading, one thing after another. A key witness, killed by a train in this freak accident. Detective Cho, the guy famous for his flying kicks, he gets tetanus and has to have his leg amputated. Think about that. It's like a literal amputation of his violent methods. You can see Detective Park's spirit just weakening and weakening. But the final blow, the really soul-crushing one, is for Seo. The killer murders a schoolgirl, a girl Seo had personally tried to help. And for him, that's not just another victim. That is the complete and total destruction of his soul. And all of this,
It all leads to the film's completely hopeless, devastating climax. Section 5. An ordinary face. After all the pain, all the obsession, all the broken lives, what are they left with? Just one final hope. Science.
I mean, literally all of their hopes are pinned on this one thing. The DNA results are arriving from America. This evidence, which they had to send halfway around the world, is their last shot, their only shot at a real, definitive answer. This is the ultimate proof that Detective CO has been waiting for, the one thing that could finally end this nightmare.
And the result? Well, it's a total punch to the gut. Inconclusive. After everything they've been through, the science fails them. Those documents that Seo believed would never, ever lie, they offer no truth. Nothing. They are left with absolutely nothing.
So let's walk through this final sequence. At the climax, they're at this train tunnel. So he completely rejects the DNA results. He's ready to just kill the suspect based on his gut feeling alone. But then, in this perfectly tragic reversal, it's Park who looks into the suspect's eyes, relying on his old instinct one last time, and he just admits, I don't know. He sees nothing, so he lets him go. Flash forward to 2003. Park is a different man now, a businessman with a family. He goes back to that very first crime scene, and while he's there, a little girl comes up to him and says another man was just there, looking at the same spot. And when Park asks what he looked like, she just says, he looked ordinary. And that single word leads to the final, unforgettable shot of the movie. Park turns, and he stares directly into the camera, directly at us. So who is he looking at? That's the question, right? He's looking for that ordinary face. You know, Bong Joon-ho famously said he figured the real killer would probably go see the movie. So Park, he's looking past us, into the audience, searching for a monster who could be literally anyone. He's asking the most chilling question of all. Could a killer just be an ordinary person? Maybe even someone sitting right there in the dark with you?